Jamali read tonight. We begin the readout in Ukraine, where the situation on the ground is increasingly dire as Russian forces continue their invasion from the north, east and south. This comes as civilian deaths continue to mount from Russian shelling, multi-launch rocket systems and airstrikes. Now, Ukrainians in the southern city of Mariupol have been under assault for days as Russia continues to bomb the city, knocking out power, water and heating supplies. Now, this prevents residents from fleeing. One regional official warned that the city is on the brink of humanitarian disaster. Now, with the southern city of Kherson under Russian control, Putin has now set his sights on a city that could be used to stage a ground assault on the major port city of Odessa. That's according to a senior U.S. defense official. According to Defense Department officials, 92% of Russia's pre-staged military is now inside Ukraine. Now, that's up 2% from yesterday. The massive Russian armored column threatening Kyiv for days remains stalled outside the capital. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby confirmed that reports that the 40-mile-long convoy has been halted. This is halted by Ukrainian forces. Take a listen.
We also have indications that the Ukrainians have struck the convoy elsewhere and on their own on vehicles. We do believe that the actions by the Ukrainians have in fact stalled that convoy and certainly slowed it down, stopped it in some places. But we also think that that it's also of a piece of Russian challenges that they've had just in terms of their own physical ground movement, sustainment, logistics. They're running out of fuel. We still believe that in some cases they're running out of food for their soldiers.
In a call with the UN Secretary General, the Russian defense minister said that talks with Ukraine have not moved forward. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris is now scheduled to travel to Poland and Romania next week. Meanwhile, Russian troops have seized the largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine. This is the largest in Europe. This is after a middle-of-the-night attack set part of the plant on fire and immediately raised global fears of a nuclear catastrophe. Today, the UN Security Council held an emergency meeting to discuss the attack and condemn the escalation. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield warned that the world narrowly averted a major disaster. Take a listen.
By the grace of God, the world narrowly averted a nuclear catastrophe last night. We all waited to exhale as we watched the horrific situation unfold in real time.
During the meeting, Ukraine's ambassador urged the Security Council to call for a ban on all flights over Ukrainian airspace. But Secretary of State Antony Blinken pushed back, noting that a no-fly zone could lead to a full-fledged war in Europe. In a late-night address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, visibly angry, slammed NATO for refusing a no-fly zone, saying that all the people who die from this day forward will also die because of you. Now, you have to see him to understand the anger. Take a look.
Усі люди, які загинуть від цього дня, загинуть також і через вас, через вашу слабкість, через вашу роз'єднаність.
Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg confirmed reports that Russia has deployed cluster bombs. In a statement, G7 foreign ministers responded, saying that those responsible for the indiscriminate assaults on innocent civilians must be held accountable for war crimes.